Don in London, hello. It's February 8th, 2010. Surprise, surprise, Monday morning, and my videos are all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance was alcohol, could have been anything. My addictive behaviour, work, relationships, materialism, collecting, all the good things in life. Or at least I thought they were all the good things in life. But they didn't really give me inner peace or happiness or a sense of serenity, I guess. And why? Well, maybe I mistook why we're here on the planet in the first place, and far be it from me to suggest why we are here. Maybe just simply to find out who we are on a daily basis, and to find happiness as life affords it, or sadness as life affords it. Better with a sober head for me. So for many years alcohol did serve a purpose. It alleviated the fear inside me, and I never learned how to deal with fear. So consequently I put on a brave face, and ego was there to cover up the deep hole, the residual mass of wondering what life was all about. And all along alcohol helped me access those suppressed feelings, whether they were happy or sad ones. So the full range of my repertoire of feelings was always fixed in some way with something outside me. So it was alcohol, right work, working as hard as I could, right relationship, working at the relationship as hard as I could, or running away in time to avoid being told to go away because there was nothing of substance in me. And, you know, looking back at all that stuff where life was superficial and to a large extent indifferent, meant that I didn't either know how to cherish other people, and I didn't know how to cherish me. So on my father's deathbed, one of the things he said, which was very poignant, about my mum, who's still alive, thankfully, was that he felt he'd treated her superficially and indifferent, rather than cherishing her. But then he realised he did cherish her, all the 40-odd years they were together. And that was a surprise to him too. And he didn't know how to show it, because showing intimacy or love meant a person was vulnerable, or he felt vulnerable. And he was a good teacher, because he taught me to be exactly the same as him. But no blame there, it's just what people know. None of us come with instructions. And if we did, what would we do with the instruction book? We'd leave it on the side and only refer to it when things are going wrong. So these days I try and listen to what's going on in the world. I try and read a bit of what is going on in the world and what's appropriate for me to keep sober a day at a time, so the rest of life can work, and that my feelings work as well in the moment of now. That strange emotional sobriety that we get in the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and it keeps me sober one day at a time, so I understand emotional, my feelings, spiritual, my connection to now, and whatever else might help me along the way, so that life works and I live life rather than think life. I stop thinking about how it ought to be and start living what it is. And those are hard changes for me, so hardwired to an old way of fixing myself and rewiring my head as if it were a computer. It's not, but actually looking to change my attitude and behaviour on a daily basis to the good of living. So the fellowship of AA helps me do that. So sober comes first, so I may live my life. And having mentioned AA, the cornerstone of my recovery, or the keystone, so the rest of life can work, I share about, as you can tell, how it works for me. And I also share the AA preamble, which is on this little card here. And I don't recite it, I read it out. And the reason for doing that is so I emphasise what I think is important. The way it's read matters greatly to me. And then to share something from the Daily Reflections, this book, which is all about the 12 steps of AA, 12 steps of action for an individual to change attitude and behaviour. February is all about step 2, which reads, "Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity." And for me, that power greater than me is everything else. I need to listen, be aware of, and absorb, so I understand a better way of life. And that higher power can be whatever we choose. It's a personal belief system. For me, God, I never really understood God, but these days I understand enough to say that God is truth, God is love, and God works through people. And beyond that, I am unable to define the entity, or whatever it may be, that is God. So, AA, what it is, the AA preamble or statement of intent. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And if we stick with the primary purpose, which is sobriety, and sharing a message of experience, strength and hope, and get rid of any other sort of diversions, we are sharing a message of a desire to stop drinking and how to be sober and how to pass it on. And that works for me, simply doing that. And we can have every opinion under the sun about everything, because we're unique, authentic people. We're not special and different, which is the distinction I make. We are unique, and that is the way we were made. But we are similar enough to get along in life and to find love and be loved back and find something useful to do. So, daily reflections for today. It's all about step 2. It says here, February the 8th, convincing Mr. Hyde. That's the old way we were. Even then, as we hew away, peace and joy may still elude us. That's the peace so many of us AA oldsters have come to. And it's a hell of a spot, literally. How shall our unconscious, from which so many of our fears, compulsions and phony aspirations still stream, be brought into line with what we actually believe, know and want? How to convince our dumb, raging and hidden Mr. Hyde becomes our main task. Regular attendance at meetings, serving and helping others is the recipe that many have tried and found to be successful. Whenever I stray from these basic principles, my old habits resurface and my old self also comes back with all its fears and defects. The ultimate goal of each AA member is permanent sobriety, achieved one day at a time. And it's always one day at a time. And I've been talking to quite a number of people who quite rightly have been upset by the behaviour of other people towards them. And the problem is, when we have such high standards for ourselves about how we want to be in sobriety and how we want to love other people, be loved back and be useful, we need to understand and acknowledge that we're still making progress, and so is the rest of the world. So when people tread on our toes, we have not to retaliate with all the force of all the experience that we've had, which accesses our fear, putting on a brave face and ego, rather than just having enough courage, faith and confidence to say, that's not for me. When somebody hurts us, we don't have to lash out and wound them back. All we need to do is find a path where we find people who are good for us. And it's not avoidance, it's actually choosing a path which is good for us and not trying to get our own back or make a statement which means that they are put down so that we feel better. So for me, at the end of these videos, serenity is about peace of mind and equality, and that serenity prayer about can do, can't do and wisdom learned saves my bacon every day, many times when the old Mr. Hyde comes out. So to God, or good conscience, or whatever it is that is your higher power, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is just for today.